Launch 2022 aspirants today and establish your brand authority as we lead towards the forthcoming general elections.
You're just in time for a comprehensive news bulletin right here on KBC Channel 1. My name is Njue. This is what we have lined up for you. You can be part of this conversation via all our social media platform as we are live and also live from the broadcasting house here in the county of Nairobi. My name again is Njue. My sign language interpreter will be joining us in a few. Well, now straight to the news. Ngelani village residents in Machakos sub-county are up in arms over mushrooming quarrying activities despite government ban on illegal quarrying in the region. Dejected locals who held a peaceful protest claimed the illegal activities have caused them untold suffering.
Loud blasts have been the order of the day at Ngelani village of Machakos sub-county in Machakos county. The irritating activities emanating from the illegal quarries, local claim followed a land-grabbing spree in the area. The dejected locals subsequently held a peaceful demonstration to protest against the illegal activities. According to the residents, all quarry miners in the area do not have NEMA authorization. Deep mining holes have been left unattended and filled with rainy water.
Ukiona watu wametoka sijui wanatoka wapi, wanakuja wanakata sehemu, wanaweka fence, wanaanza kujenga, wanaleta matinga, wanaanza kukata mawe.
In the last 2 years, the area has seen an increase of quarrying activities, with more than 100 trucks ferrying quarry stones. They are now calling on the relevant government departments to intervene, saying if the trend continues, the locals will be forced to abandon their homes.
Sasa tunaomba serikali itusaidie kwa sababu hata hapa tuko na watoto, mavumbi ni mingi. Sasa wanajenga maukuta, hatujui tutafanya nini.
Serikali, tafadhali, wale iko na matumbo kubwa ndio manakuja nyang'anya watu shamba kama sisi. Serikali, naomba mkuje msaidie sisi.
They say this has been a recurrent issue in the area, especially during the electioneering year, alleging some politicians are said to surrender pieces of community land to investors for quick campaign money. Beatrice Gatonyangetich, Lunchtime News.
Now to the ongoing party primaries in the country. A section of Jubilee party aspirants in Nyandarua County have intensified their campaigns ahead of the forthcoming party primaries. The aspirants, led by former Water and Irrigation Cabinet Secretary Sisiri Kariuki, said they are out to popularize the party in the region. The former CS is eyeing to clinch the Nyandarua gubernatorial seat to oust Governor Francis Kimemia. Former Water and Irrigation Cabinet Secretary Sisiri Kariuki is seeking to oust the incumbent Governor Francis Kimemia on a Jubilee party ticket. Speaking while on a campaign trail In various stopovers within Daragwa constituency, Jubilee Party aspirants led by Cicely had expressed their commitment to strengthen the party and also ensure it clinches most of the seats in the coming August 9th general election.
Muliniambia ya kwamba mungetaka wakati tutaingia tukichukua kazi, hiyo kazi ndiyo mama anaelewa sana, sababu ajuaje mchungu wa mtoto ni mama. Negwe muraje ndile nedranjitire magafu wega.
Na sisi tunataka kuchukua viti zote. Hatutaki kuwashia UDA kiti hata moja, particularly hapa Nyandarua. Na tunahitaji mkae kwa chama ya Jubilee, tujitetee tukiwa pande ya Jubilee. Uko juu mkipatia yoyote mwenye mtapatia, mjue tu chama mubakishe huku. Kwa hivyo hizi.
They said the Jubilee Party was committed to preach peace and shun statements that would incite or trigger conflicts as political temperatures continue to rise. And storm is brewing in Jubilee Party as aspirants in Laikipia North constituency, Laikipia County, opposed consensus as the party's preferred method of picking candidates.
Tumepata uvumi kidogo kwamba kuna wale wameshaweka cheti kwenye mfuko, lakini tuna imani na chama ya kwamba watatufanyia nominations kwa njia inayofaa, kwa njia inayopendeza wananchi na kwa njia ambayo inawapa wananchi nafasi ya kuwachagua viongozi wanaotaka.
Kile ambacho mimi ningependa kusema, ningesema katika chama cha Jubilee, wakati wa kupendelea mtu eti ako na umaarufu imeisha. Chini ya katiba ya ugatuzi.
Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni has explained why the party opted to have negotiated democracy in their nominations. Kioni said despite the party shunning the process previously, it has turned out to be one of the best ways to deal with diversity as a country. Still more on politics, we are now crossing over to the race course here in the county of Nairobi, where Kenya Kwanza is currently signing coalition documents, and the Deputy President William Ruto is currently addressing those gathered.
A school can get a job. Kenyans want answers. We've asked too many questions. It's now time for us to provide the answers. And I am confident that the team we have here and those who are coming to join us soon, and there are many, will take our great country to the next level. We all believe in a peaceful country. We are all planning to have a peaceful election. We are dismantling the tribal base of our politics, and we are assembling an issue base for our politics. That is the future of our country. Countrymen, I ask you, one and all, to join us in this great task where every vote counts, every person matters, and every corner of our country must pull together. I do not wish to make this a long speech because we have come here for a very solemn occasion to append our signatures, to commit ourselves that we are going to build a team that will prosecute the agenda we have for the transformation of our great country. Let me take this opportunity to invite my brother, Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, to make his brief remarks, as I will all the other party leaders who are here this afternoon. My brother Musalia.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Deputy President.
That is ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi there during the signing of the coalition documents at the Ngong Racecourse, and we'll be getting back to that report a little bit later. But still on the party primaries in the country, former Funyula MP Paul Otuoma will fly the ODM party flag in the race to succeed Governor Sospeter Ojamong during the August 9 polls. Otuoma won the nomination after beating his sole challenger, Women Representative Florence Mutua.
Former Funyula Member of Parliament Paul Otuoma has been declared the winner of Busia ODM gubernatorial primaries. The returning officer, Charles Tip, declared Otuoma the winner after garnering 49,330 votes against Florence Mutua's 30,696. Speaking after he was declared the winner, Paul Otuoma noted that there was need for ODM aspirants to ensure they work together to win all seats in their gas polls.
And when ODM succeeds in doing something, the whole family of ODM succeeds. And I hope this is going to be replicated in all places, that we do a credible nomination process, and after that it becomes the responsibility to bring the family of ODM together.
Tips also declared Catherine Omanyo the winner of Women Representative seat, having garnered 29,273 votes against her competitor Beatrice Naburi, who emerged second with 17,641. Otuoma will now take on Jubilee's Lucas Meso, DAP Kenya's Dan Mugoria, and Nambale Member of Parliament John Bunyasi, who are eyeing the gubernatorial seat on ANC party ticket. Meanwhile, residents of Mtepeni Ward in South Kilifi constituency have protested the ODM nominations results, which they say were manipulated to impose unwanted leadership on them.
Kitu tunachoomba Brown arudishe certificate. Yes. Airegeshe certificate. Ikiwa haitawezekana, basi mambo yaende mbele. Yes. Maanake hatutakubali kudhulumiwa. Ambapo sisi tumefanya bidii zetu zote, mtoto wetu apite tuone maendeleo yake ziada, ambayo ameyafanya na mengine hajayafanya, atayafanya.
And finally, professionals and politicians from Ugunja have called on the Orange Democratic Movement to give the party's National Elections Board the benefit of doubt over its ability to ensure fairness during the nominations. Speaking in Ugunja in Siaya County, the professionals said fair game during the nominations would ensure peace and unity among residents.
I'll ensure that the Siaya people this time round, you have given a chance to elect and let the party nominate a candidate of your choice, not a choice that have been forced on the people of Siaya, that has made the Siaya people suffer for the last 10 years.
And away from politics, the high demand for both luxurious residential houses and investments being recorded in Nairobi's Westland suburb has forced real estate owners to adopt modern designs to attract buyers. According to a section of the property developers, the move is to woo locals seeking to take advantage of the expressway and proximity to the central business district to do business.
We are ensuring that we get a maximum return for our clients. Home ownership actually begins when you get your keys rather than when you pay the first deposit. Because for homeowners, they really require the support after the property is taken over.
We're moving slowly but surely because they don't call you every other day to bring their money. So you put your investment in, you program how you're going to pay. And I'm saying by the time we are done, they'll still be taking care of you.
Let's now cross over to the International Street Kids Day. We have our very own Yusuf Farah with a comprehensive report. He has been keeping a keen eye on that. And actually, remember the theme for this year being celebrating frontline workers and protecting every child. He is at Pumwani as we speak. Yusuf Farah, can you hear me?
We are celebrating the International Day of Street Children, and this year's theme is celebrating frontline workers and protecting every child. And basically today the children here have been treated to a medical camp, entertainment. Behind me, as you can see, the entertainment is still going on, and then next to me here is the field where the children are being treated to street football. So right about now joining me is Mr. Mweka, who was once a street child and now he's involved in one of the consortiums in Nairobi who are part of the teams that are trying to integrate street children back into the society. Mr. Mweke, good afternoon. Many thanks for joining us. So as we're celebrating the International Day of Street Children today, you have been a street child. Perhaps maybe what are some of the plights that street children face in their daily lives?
Huko saa zingine zile issues watu wanapitia ni unapata saa zingine unakuwa njaa, unakuwa tena mwizi, na saa zingine medical, cause unajua si wale wote wameweza kufika kwa centers, kuna wale wenye wako kwa centers. Sasa leo saa 8 usiku wenye salia tuko kuwasaidia, sasa zile situation unapitia tuwezi jua. Sasa kwa hivyo huko life ni hard, na nadhani tukishirikiana na wenzetu kama Zero Street Children, hata alikuwa former street boy, na sasa tumeshirikiana, mimi niko pande ya entertainment na yeye hufanya mambo ya ID. Sasa hii nikiangalia roughly amepea kama 5000 street families IDs, na it's up to tumeamua ku up the game. Ndio maana tuko consortium na tuko na Nairobi County. Si kila siku tuna blame, tunasema sijui county ifanye kazi, sijui serikali ifanye kazi. Sasa hii ndio time sisi kama mayouth wenye tuko kwa street tushikane na county na tushikane na national government tufanye kazi, ndio tukue na Zero Street Children. Mimi na believe Vision 2030 tukishirikiana na kina Mr. Mwema na wengine na mimi najua tunaweza maliza street families.
Okay. Yeah. And labda, how important is it that the consortiums in Nairobi that are working towards integrating street children back to the society coming together like today in order to complement each other's effort, of course in conjunction with the county government?
Mimi naona umuhimu ni hao mandugu zetu wenye tunasaidia, wagasa zingine wanacheza na akili zetu, wanaenda kwa pita, wanaenda kwa county government, wanakuja kwetu. Sasa zingine wanazungurura hizo center. Sasa leo tumeshikana, wanga tunawafungia, mtu akuji kwangu, kesho anaenda kwa huyu, ndio tuweze kumsaidia. Because end of the day siku wa feed ndio solution. Ni kuwasaidia na warudi kwa wazazi wao, na ile kitu ya maana tutaambia community ile iko pale nje. Hao watoto hawatoki mbinguni. Hao watoto ni mimi na wewe ndio tunawazaa. Kwa hivyo tuko na bado jukumu si sisi wenye tunafanya tu kazi kwa street children. Ukiwa pale kwa community uko na jukumu ya kuangalia mtoto wako na wajirani.
Now maybe as we finish, the street children here today maybe that you are targeting to try and bring back to the centers, are they responsive, and maybe what are some of the methods that you're using to integrate them so that they accept to go back to the centers, which we know is not that easy?
Kama ukiangalia example, kuna band, ile band imepiga, kuna wengi wale wenye wako kwa street wamefurahia na hiyo band, na tunawaambia hao walikuwa wenzenyu kwa street na wamereform. Sasa hiyo ni method moja, na method nyingine ni watukaa sisi wenye tunawasaidia, wanaona hata sisi tuko kwa base na tumereform. Sasa kwa hivyo mimi naona hatua force kuchange, tunawapatia option na hao wanakubali, wanakuambia leo nimekupatia gulu yangu, shika, nimeamua kwenda kwa center. After hapo tunawasaidia.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mweke. Troy, Mr. Mweke there, who is a street reformer now, basically just giving us the input of the consortiums. Perhaps to have another word with a member of the Nairobi County to tell us what the county is doing in its capacity to complement the efforts of the frontline workers as they try to integrate street children back to the society. Mr. Robert Mwema, thank you very much for joining us. Now, as we celebrate this International Day of Street Children, perhaps are there some policies rather that are being developed right now in order to assist or complement the efforts of these consortiums in integrating street children back to the society?
Yeah, thank you. We have various programs run by the county government of Nairobi towards supporting the street families and more so the children. We have various programs, and in addition to that, we are coming up with Nairobi City County Child Protection and Safeguarding Policy. This will address issues of protection and issues of safeguarding, both in the family, in the society, and in the community. Ultimately, we want all the children to access the best services possible, both from the government, national and the county government, together with partners. Thank you.
And are there centers that are coming up, apart from the ones that are already existing from Nairobi County, in line with these policies that are being developed?
Yeah, as a county, we are running 4 centers for street children. As I said earlier, we have Makandara, Kayole, Joseph Kang'ethe, and Shauri Moyo. We also have a center which is coming up in Ruai Street Children Rehabilitation Center. This will be an ultra-modern children's center offering support for all the children, irrespective of whether they are from the streets or any other unfavorable conditions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Robert. A lovely afternoon to you. Well, there you have it there, Ben Troy. Reforms that are being made towards achieving a zero street children rate here in the country. Of course, we'll have this story in our subsequent bulletins, but for now, back to you in studio.
Thank you so much, Yusuf Farah, there live from Pumwani, where we are celebrating today the International Day for Street Kids. And without diluting what they have said is that the county official have been able to point out 2 key issues that various programs geared towards supporting street families and street children. They have also had children protection policies which are underway, not to mention Shauri Moyo and Ruai Children Centers, just to support them. And today being their day, they are celebrating it in Pumwani, but the day is celebrated countrywide. Of course, we have a much comprehensive report on the same a little bit later. Moving on, more than 1,020 families in Samburu East are facing hunger as drought continue to ravage most parts of the country and county. The Kenya Red Cross, which is in the sub-county distributing relief food, says more food donation is required because the current aid, I beg your pardon, they want to reach 500 affected families in Samburu East.
Under the scorching sun, a section of hunger-stricken residents make their way to one of the designated centers within Naisunyai village, Samburu East, to receive relief food. The ongoing drought in parts of the country has taken a toll on families here in Samburu East.
Kiangazi sasa hivi imetupeleka vibaya sana. Sababu ng'ombe tuna, mbuzi tuna, hata watoto sasa hivi hata watu wanakufa.
Damu zenye ziko hapa yote zimeisha maji. Bwaho lile moja tuko nayo, maji ile inatoka ni kidogo.
A crisis that has seen intervention from various stakeholders, among them the Kenya Red Cross. One by one of the residents who have congregated here 110 kgs of rice, 4 kgs of beans, 2 liters of cooking oil and 500 grams of salt.
Tunashukuru Red Cross kwa kutuletea chakula. Hii sio mara yao ya kwanza kwa kutuletea. Isipokuwa kuna wengi nyumbani hawapokei.
Kwa maana hata hii chakula sasa tunapata, tunaenda kusaidia hata na wale wajapata. Sasa nataka tuongezee sisi ndio angali hata tupate hiyo chakula sisi wote.
Samburu County is among the 23 counties hard hit by hunger due to prolonged failed rains. According to Kenya Red Cross, more than 1,020 families in Samburu East need urgent food relief.
Ukiangalia pia afya ya watoto na kina mama wajawazito na wale ambao wako na watoto chini ya umri wa miaka 5 ndio wale ambao wameathirika zaidi, kwa sababu hawa ambao wanatoka hapa ni wafugaji na mifugo tayari imeenda katika sehemu mbali kutafuta malisho ambapo watoto wamewachwa nyuma, ndiposa unaona hata hali ya lishe ya watoto imeathirika.
The organization is calling for more donations to help the families in dire need of help. Currently, more than 100,000 people in Samburu County are experiencing hunger and in need of food aid due to prolonged drought in some areas. Kamche Menza for Lunchtime News.
And from Samburu to Isiolo, where residents have urged the government to beef up security in the region following a banditry attack that saw innocent herders lose their lives. The area residents want a complete disarmament exercise to ensure that firearms are only left in the hands of licensed security officers.
Tension remains high in Drought area of Isiolo County after last Friday's banditry attack that left several herders dead. Survivors who sustained gunshot injuries during the attack are nursing homes at Isiolo County Referral Hospital. 5 herders who escaped death by a whisker say the attack was planned and well executed, with approximately 300 raiders surrounding their Manyata and livestock grazing areas.
Katua hapo watu 6 wakaua, watu 4 wakakuwa jeraha.
Kama tu nimeenda kuchukua maziwa nikajipata niko katikati yao karibu na boma. Ndio wakaanza kunishoot, wakadhani nimekufa, wakaenda. Wakasonga mbele wakaenda.
The residents have asked the government to beef up security in the area by disarming illegal firearm holders in Isiolo.
Watu kama itawezekana waondolewe kabisa kwa ajili wamekuja na silaha kila aina. Na wamekuja kivita kabisa, si hata kutafuta malisho.
The attack is alleged to have been executed by bandits from a neighboring county. They have appealed to government authorities to fast-track the operation to flush out the armed herders back to their home counties and recover the stolen animals.
Kama kiongozi wa vijana, naomba serikali hii maneno isichukulie kitu kidogo. Hii ni maneno ambaye watu wanatafuta ardhi, si watu ambaye wanatafuta malisho. Na naiomba ifanyiwe disarmament, yani hii mabunduki ambayo wanatumia wachukulie hata.
Humo kutoka regional commissioner na county commissioners wote, kwa sababu ukisikiliza coordination, they were supposed to coordinate ule wa Samburu, Isiolo na Meru, so that mtu hata jangili akitoka mahali anakuwa easily traced na anajulikana ni watu kiasi gani wamejihami namna gani.
Frederick Muki for Lunchtime News.
And at about 27 minutes past the hour, we are due for our first break. And allow me and our sign language interpreter, Anne Wangeshi, to take a quick break. We'll be back with more news. We still have business and also all the latest news from the world of sports.
The legendary run to Olympia Stadion in Berlin is now less crowded, with only 4 teams out of 64 still in contention. Something more outstanding is that all of the sides to have won the DFB Pokal over the last 29 years are already out this year.
And Leverkusen are knocked out by a Bundesliga 2 side.
In the first DFB Pokal semi-final, Hamburger SV will face Freiburg on Tuesday, the 19th of April 2022 at 9:45 p.m. While in the second semi-final, RB Leipzig will lock horns with Union Berlin on Wednesday, the 20th April 2022 at 9:45 p.m. Having braced the turbulent journey and buoyed up with the trophy in sight, no team want to go down without a fight. You don't want to miss this adventurous football show, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Mundos divididos por una sombra de traición.
I can no longer keep his secret.
But what does that mean? What are you talking about, Santiago?
I'm talking about my father's mismanagement. I promise that I'll do something about Rogelio. I won't let you down this time.
Because I'm planning to transfer all of my interests in this company to someone else. Name is Mariela Salvatierra.
Eduardo's mistress?
Yes.
Then let me see it.
Lying heart. Fue sembrando el veneno y la ambición.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Welcome back and thanks for keeping it KBC. Elsewhere, Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu has issued 1,866 title deeds to squatters living in the disputed Nzalai Ranch in Ngutani Ward, Mwingi West. The affected squatters, have experienced violent evictions since the early 70s.
After over 50 years of incessant and violent evictions, Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu has issued over 1,800 title deeds to squatters living on the disputed Nzalai Ranch. Speaking after presiding over the exercise, Ngilu regretted the age-old plight of the residents in the hands of land cartels, hell-bent on grabbing the expansive piece of land.
Na hawa watu wa Nzalai wameishi kwa miaka mingi wakipigana wapewe title deeds zao. Na mwaka uliopita tukatuma surveyors wakafanya surveying, wakafanya ile demarcation na wakaenda wakatengeneza title deeds. Tuko na 2 au 3 watu ambao mpaka yao haijajulikana kabisa, lakini tutatuma officers wajue ni gani.
The governor has, however, cautioned politicians against using the emotive land issue to gain prominence during their campaigns.
Tunajua viongozi wengi sana ambao walikuwa wamewaahidi hawa watu wa Nzalai ya kwamba na watawapatia title deeds na wataleta watu wa kupima mashamba lao au kufanya survey.
The residents could hardly hide their joy and relief after receiving the crucial documents after decades of agonizing wait.
Miaka ambayo imeshapita, miaka almost from 1972, tumekuwa tukisumbuka sana kwa sababu hatuko na hatimiliki za mashamba. Tulikuwa tunafukuzwa, tunapigana vita za hapa na pale.
Kwa hivyo niko na furaha sana kwa maana sasa naweza lala. Ni sikuwa na hakika kana kwamba kuna siku sitafukuzwa. Nilikuwa tu na hofu naweza fukuzwa. Unajua kama kitu si chako na unaweza ambiwa umekaa hapa hauna hala, umekaa hapa si halali kwako.
Nancy Quarry, Lunchtime News.
And now to a new medical fit and fast in the country. Doctors from Medihill in Nairobi have successfully managed to carry out the first ever aortic wall replacement procedure in Kenya. 84-year-old Catholic priest Brabila Luigi got a new heart valve without undergoing a surgery and becomes the first patient in the country to benefit from the technology. Take a look.
It is another first in the country after a private medical facility successfully used technology to treat a heart patient. Father Brambila Luig, a Catholic priest, has been ailing from severe calcification and obstruction in one of his heart valves, a term referred to as aortic stenosis in the medical world.
I am very happy because I didn't need to go out of Kenya, and so I could be operated here, and therefore, well, thanks to everybody. Now, About the intervention, I have to say that it was very easy. Something very, well, I didn't expect that it was so easy. I don't know if it was easy for you, but for me it was very easy.
But today is a relieved man. His shortness of breath and dizziness all gone thanks to the new technology.
Whenever patient is unfit for surgery, whenever elderly patient more than 75 years, and whenever there is high surgical risk for open heart surgery, if it is very risky, then we usually offer these procedures.
Dr. Vijay Sah Patil of the Medhill Hospital in Nairobi says considering Brambila's age, the best option was the aortic valve replacement known as TAVI after he objected to the open heart surgery because of the high risk.
This is less invasive. Without opening chest wall, we are doing such procedures mainly through the groin. Through groin, we are putting small sheets, and through that we are passing such a valve at desired location after dilating that valve and implanting there. This can be done as a local anesthesia, under local anesthesia only. So patient will be conscious. You can talking with patient and you can do this procedure. There is no need of general anesthesia.
Ashish Raman, the vice president of Medhill Hospitals, says despite them facing quite a number of challenges during the procedure, they are hopeful of doing many more in the future.
We are confident enough, and we want to send a message to all the Kenyans who want to travel to the India. Is India is a developed country for the medical front? I do agree, because I also come from that part of the country. But why you want to go to the India, the alien land? That is alien land, that is alien food we're getting. We want to, our dream is to bring all the facilities that is available in India in this part of the country. And after doing the TAVI, this is giving us the more confidence that we can bring more complicated, we can do the more complicated cases in this part of the country.
But it is not without a cost to undergo the procedure. It costs between 5 to 7 million shillings.
Definitely some good news from the medical field. And now to the fuel shortage in the country. A politician in Kisii County is calling on the government's intervention over current fuel crisis. Ezekiel Machogu, a UDA gubernatorial aspirant, said Kenyans have been inconvenienced while looking for this scarce essential commodity.
The economy is getting adversely affected because of lack of fuel, and we are making an appeal to the government because in the Parliament we passed what we call a stabilization bill, where a certain amount of money is kept by a government to cushion petroleum companies in case there is fluctuation of prices in petrol. So we are appealing to the government to really take the necessary remedial measures so that this crisis can be able to come to an end.
And on that fuel crisis, we are now linking up with our business editor, Brian Kimani, who has been keeping tabs at the function the ICT Ministry has organized at the coast, where Joe Musheru is the chief guest. Let's hear O'Brien.
Well, many thanks, Bentro and Njue back in Broadcasting House. We are here at the 11th edition of the Connected Kenya Summit, which is taking place here in Diani, Kwale County. And of course, the theme for this year is accelerating digital transformation. Today we have seen the launch of the second ICT master plan, national master plan, which is expected to push the country to greater heights in terms of ICT. Now, joining us is the CEO of the Kwanza Technopolis, engineer John Tanui, is going to explain to us how the master plan is critical to the development of the Kwanza Technopolis and among other things. Thank you very much indeed for joining us here. First of all, I mean, it has been how many years now 11 years since the first ICT, Connected Kenya Summit was held here. What has been the benefits of these summits to the development of Kwanza City?
First, want to appreciate what the Ministry of ICT has done. For the years we've held this Connected Summit, and here today in Mombasa, we are discussing the theme accelerating digital transformation. When you look over the years, there's been a lot of discussions over many issues, and some of those items are turned into projects and things that we can realize now in the ICT sector. So this platform has brought both the private sector, the public sector, and even regional leaders, and various issues has been addressed, including connectivity. Now we have backbone fiber connecting almost every county headquarters, actually all county headquarters, connecting to sub-counties, and even projects like Kwanza has benefited a lot from the initial master plan of the ICT sector, and also from the previous IC Connected Summit discussions.
And today we have also seen the launch of the National ICT Master Plan, the National Digital Master Plan by the Cabinet Secretary in charge of ICT, Innovations and Youth, that details how the country is going to gradually develop its ICT sector in the next 10 years. What is innate for the development of Kwanza?
First, yes, it's great to see the second master plan being launched today, and we can see over the years many of the discussions that has happened in the connected summits, and now they are being documented under this implementation document 2022 to 2032. Kwanza Technopolis is highlighted as one of the key flagship projects that needs to be accelerated. There are also several items that are mentioned, including initiatives to meet the needs of the coming years, including development of software engineers, establishment of an hardware manufacturing facility for the sector, and Kwanza is ready now to host those investments, software development, to also host the manufacturing for electronics, and also with the digital platform that we have at Kwanza, we are able to support government agencies and private sector to also accelerate their digital transformation and digitalization using this platform. And today's event brings many of our partners and stakeholders, including technology partners, to a common place to discuss now the way forward, and this document being launched also shapes our next 10 years in terms of programs and projects that we are going to work with together.
Very good. I want you to hold your thoughts there, because I want to talk to Chris Senanu from Safaricom, and I want to hear from you from a private sector perspective. What do you make of these year's Connected Kenya Summit?
We are very excited to be back physically in Diani. We've missed 2 years. I think the theme is very appropriate because acceleration of digital transformation obviously has happened because of COVID by itself. And right now, between the public sector and the private sector, we're working in collaboration to ensure that we help digitize government, but also this has a massive impact, of course, on economic development and the gig economy. So for us in the private sector and for us as Safaricom, we're definitely excited about the theme. We're excited about coming here to Connected, and with the launch of the new digital strategy, I think we are good to go.
Very well. It's proper that you have mentioned the National Digital Master Plan. I've seen part of the excerpts is that the government plans to digitize about 5 billion records, by the year 2032. What is going to be the role of the private sector to help the achievement of these critical targets?
First and foremost, training, because we need to train a lot of people who are leaving school about digitization of records. Secondly, providing the technology for the scanning and the movement into cloud storage. The cloud storage facilities, Kwanza exists. We have been working with partners in terms of putting government records on the cloud. Obviously, it's a private cloud for themselves. and basically making sure that the digital infrastructure and digital ecosystem exists for these records to be stored securely, safely, and in a way that they can be retrieved without a lot of problems.
You've talked about, Kwanza, playing a significant role in the digitization of those government records. 100,000 kilometers worth of fiber optic system is expected to be laid in the next 10 years. How will these assist in the rollout of various ICT sectors within Kwanza?
Connectivity is a critical component to the entire innovation and even what we call the startup ecosystem. Having the entire country connected gives opportunities for our people from wherever they are to participate in the nation building, and also in the opportunities to create solutions that can sort our national issues, and even turning those solutions into enterprises, businesses that can grow using the innovation hubs. There are several innovation hubs across the country that are growing up. Government has aimed to have at least 4 constituency innovation hubs in every constituency. And we see also regional innovation hubs driven by private sector. We've seen innovation hubs in our universities. Connecting them will mean a big thing for our country. It's like creating a strong, vibrant innovation ecosystem that will allow ideas to grow from every part of our country. And we have also the regional innovation hubs, like here in Mombasa, we have Swahili Port, Lake Hub, and many others. These will become platforms that can coordinate innovation activities and provide opportunities for us to grow what we call our tech startups that will create jobs, create wealth, and even advance our country. And we will soon have more products, whether it is softwares or digital, that we can develop out of Kenya and export it out.
Very good. Chris, before I let you go, in 10 seconds, I want to hear from you. When you look at the ICT ecosystem in Kenya in the next 10 years, where do you see this critical sector?
I think about 10, 15 years ago when we started talking about Silicon Savannah, people were laughing at us. I think it's very obvious. It's very, you can see the number of tech startups which have come out of Kenya. Like my compatriot is saying, having last mile all over the country where anybody in Turkana or anybody in Lamu can wake up in the morning and from a laptop or any digital or smart device, they can work. We have been able to move this country to the next level. So what do I see? I see people understanding that work is not a place to go to, but it's a thing you do from anywhere, because we have made sure that the fiber infrastructure and the technology or the connectivity is there. I see a situation where we have a lot of tech startups coming because of the hubs and because of the ecosystem. I see our system attracting a lot of investors in both fintech, edtech, health tech, all the techs.
All the spectrum.
This is Silicon Savannah, and the whole region actually recognizes Kenya, that we are at the forefront and the cusp of technological revolutions. Gentlemen, we look forward to that kind of Kenya, and let's move forward together. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Engineer John Njue, joining us here at the Connected Kenya Summit. We'll continue to give you this kind of information. You're watching KBC Channel 1, back to you, Broadcasting House. Ben Troy, Njue.
Thank you so much, Brian Kimani, coming to us live from Mombasa. They're engaging 2 tech experts. One, Chris, being a director from the mobile phone company Safaricom, and the CEO Kwanza Technopolis. John there taking us through what to expect after the launch of ICT Master Plan earlier today by the ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru. Just to point one thing there, the partnership or the private-public sector that will better ICT and connectivity has been stepped up despite the COVID-19 challenge. But uptake did increase because people had to work from home, people had to observe social distancing and other protocols. We will be having a more comprehensive report in our subsequent bulletin. Moving on, the government has issued an alert of a possible increase in the African armyworm invasion in 11 counties, namely Taita Taveta, Murang'a, Tharaka Nithi, Makueni, Kitui, Kajiado, Narok, Kwale, and Kilifi. The Tsavo, Amboseli and Masai Mara National Reserve have also been identified as massive breeding grounds for the destructive pests that have been sighted in Western Kenya and the North Rift.
The African armyworm is a migratory moth, the caterpillars of which are important pests of pastures and cereal crops. Over time, population increases and mass migration of moths occur, covering many thousands of square kilometers and traversing international boundaries, posing a threat to food security and pasture for livestock. Owing to delayed rains, the government is on high alert over a possible explosion of the invasive pest in at least 11 counties. The Ministry of Agriculture is monitoring Taita Taveta, Murang'a, Tharaka Nithi, Makueni, Kitui, Kajiado, Nakuru, Narok, Kwale and Kilifi counties, as well as the game reserves such as Tsavo, Amboseli and Masai Mara that have been identified as breeding grounds for the destructive pests. So far, the pests have been reported in Western Kenya and parts of Rift Valley. Owing to the pest's short life cycle, high reproductive capacity and mobility, the Ministry of Agriculture is calling for reactivation of community-based surveillance and monitoring to ascertain presence and control measures such as spraying. Regina Manyara reporting for Lunchtime News. Regina Manyara reporting for Prime Edition.
In other news, the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, IEK, has inaugurated Engineer Eric Ohaga as the new president of the engineering body. Engineer Ohaga has promised to work closely with the University Dean's Council to support the Engineers Board of Kenya towards the finalization of the Memorandum of Understanding with the Commission for University Education to ensure that challenges facing the accreditation of engineering programs are removed. Details of this and more in our corporate briefs.
The duties of the president.
Engineer Eric Ohaga received the mantle from his predecessor, Engineer Nathaniel Matalanga, as the new president of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. Engineer Ohaga says he is keen on the finalization of the Memorandum of Understanding with the Commission for University Education to address challenges of accreditation of engineering programs. He says this will ensure that the Engineers Board of Kenya is able to assure the rest of the world that programs in Kenya are up to international standards and fast-track Kenya's journey towards joining the International Engineering Alliance.
We shall carefully review what has been done and to what extent, and based on our assessment, make considerations on the various approaches to take.
Meanwhile, the Association of Medical Engineering of Kenya has finalized training on their new mobile app that will enhance repair and maintenance of medical equipment. The association's chairman, Simon Mbaka, says the new technology would promote better service delivery to patients as well as cut costs for hospitals.
Health applications, more connected health solutions, where you enter names of the patient, get the results, and have maybe a cloud-based solution for data.
CFAO Kenya has invested in Ofgen Limited, a leader in solar PV installation for commercial and industrial use in Eastern Africa. CFAO Kenya Chairman Ambassador Dennis Awori says the investment will help CFAO Group accelerate the penetration of the commercial and industrial renewable energy market. He says CFAO Kenya plans to equip all its facilities in East and Southern Africa region with photovoltaic panels to reduce carbon emissions by more than 1,000 tons annually by the year 2024. Ndutamo Kami for Lunchtime News.
And in sports, FKF presidential aspirant Twaha Mbarak has reiterated his commitment to nurturing talents from the grassroots as it's the only sure way of reviving the dwindling standards of football in the country. Twaha, who is a long-serving football administrator, believes the game can be revived by electing people who prioritize players' welfare. Twaha, who is fronted by retired footballers in his presidential bid, has urged the FKF caretaker committee to move with speed and announce the roadmap to election. Twaha, who will be vying alongside Andrew Amukoa, is running on a manifesto of reviving the sport through a well-structured youth system and investing more in women football.
Legends hawa na viongozi wote wa mpira tutashikana pamoja tuhakikishe kwamba mpira tumerudisha kwa wenye mpira. Kisha kwamba tunapeleka hii talent kila mahali. Hata huko Turkana, hata Wajia, hata Mandera, kote tutahakikisha kwamba tunatoa wachezaji ili waweze kucheza kwa national team. Hata sisi hamtaweza kuja Nairobi, sisi tutaleta scout hapa kuangalia nyinyi vijana ambao watacheza zile under 14, under 17, under 21 na zile senior team.
Further afield, the first two second legs of the UEFA Champions League quarter-final matches will be played tonight. Chelsea traveling to Real Madrid, while Bayern meet Villarreal. Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel said he is hopeful that his side will overturn a 2-goal deficit at Real Madrid.
Chelsea will face Real Madrid as Bayern play Villarreal in tonight's two second-leg quarter-final Champions League matches. Chelsea lost to the Spanish side in the first leg of their quarter-final by 2 goals and have travelled to the Bernabeu for the return leg tonight. Romelu Lukaku will not feature in the game due to injury. Bayern Munich are looking to avoid elimination, having lost by a goal to Villarreal last week. Yellow Submarines manager Unai Emery is looking to progress beyond the tournament's quarter-finals.
That's all the time we had for KBC Lunchtime News, but be sure to make a date with us at 4, 7 and 9 p.m. for more news. And of course, you can get the latest updates from our social media platform, including our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Bentro Njue Anwange. She has been our sign language interpreter for this live newscast. And remember, planting a tree today is believing in tomorrow. Have a good one.
Kitwek FM Kegosin.
Niache mimi na familia yangu tafadhali. Sitawahi kukusamehe mpaka kufa kwangu.
Dadako hata tuacha tuishi kwa amani.
Unawezaje kwenda kumuua Faza wakati wajua Faza ndo tegemea alilonalolio peke yake?
Kwa kama ushatemwa usileteza ovu mimi hapa.
I give you a good lawyer akuwakilishe. What's the problem?
Mimi nitashinda vipi kesi wakili kama wewe utatoa ushahidi?
Ipo siku wakili utarudi ndani ya hii nyumba na hautanipata.
the day where we get to bring you some mad entertainment. And I promise you guys that today's show is gonna be lit. How are you doing?
How are you doing, beautiful people? And she is back, the Kenyan famous Miss V, man. You look glamorous, Miss V. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. It feels good to be back. I had missed you guys and I've seen your messages. Kwani siku moja tu,
man. But Miss V, honestly, we've been praying for you.
Yeah.
How is your beautiful mom, by the way?
My mama is doing well. She is recovering very well. She's still in hospital, but we are praying that she'll be out of the hospital. Now, let's get to the business that has brought us here today. And as I mentioned as we began, you know, just earlier on, that today's show is going to be lit. From Fireboy to Color Festival. You do not want to miss any bit of it.
Absolutely. My
name is Vivian Dago. You can simply just call me Miss V.
Jack Muller, the party daddy, aka your girlfriend, go my number.
And you know what this right here is?
Grapevine, baby.
What you gotta do?
We start off the show with the Fireboy DML event that went down at the Ngong Racecourse. Miss V was at the location. Let's check it out.
Ngong Racecourse is where the party is at, where Fireboy DML is set to perform. Now, this will be the first time the Afropop superstar is performing in the 254. Other performances set for the night are from Soul Generation stars Njue the Storyteller and Ben Soul. Let's get into it, shall we?
For more events, as is their usual, never disappoint with the parties they put up. This time round, it was a Fireboy experience. The Ngong Racecourse waterfront was packed with revelers ready to dance the cold and night away. We have to mention the tight security set in place, as the venue has before been associated with some negative stories.
I'm so excited.
Right from the beginning, everything was going to plan and the vibes were immaculate. The DJs of the night sure did understand the assignment at hand, as one after the other took the stage. At no point did the party levels go down. How on course was the choice of MCs for the night, as Gooderman and Chiki not only MC'd, but also dabbled as hype persons and dancers. The event was an all-round entertainment hub. Soul Generation's Ben Soul started off the live experience.
Yes, I do. Like you come to go and to see la se mi Lucy, yes, I do. Like you come to go and don't force it, don't force it.
The Nairobi hitmaker graced us with his hits as the audience sang along to every song. Njue's turn was no different. Like the superstar he is, adorning an all-white attire, he delivered to the brim. The much anticipated performance from Africa's finest Fireboy, which was his first in Kenya, came. He hit the stage at 2 a.m. and in an hour he gave such a crisp and stellar performance, backed by his band, and it was obvious why he is among the popular artists from the continent. It is right to conclude that this concert is one of the best that has gone down so far this year.
Machakos is known for being bad, but today I can rate it at 10 over 10. It was, thank you for more events, and we loved it.
Just the energy you put in, yeah, that's the hype. The event was really nice. The security today, the security was top notch. That's all I can say. It's been a success. Fireboy has done his thing.
I just loved everything. Thank you for more for nice event. Fireboy. Oh, I want to meet this Fireboy. He's so cute. He's so cute. Peru, para. Peru, para. Oh, and vibration. Vibration.
Peru, para. Peru, para. Man, we had so much fun at the Fireboy DML concert. I am sure if you missed it out, you're not going to miss it next time. Now, away from Fireboy, let me take you to a fashion event that was dubbed completely out of fashion. Now, why they call it this is because they are doing a whole different version of fashion, because they are taking waste material, or rather textile waste, and turning it into some fashionable clothing. I mean, if you just look at this event, let me not say too much, because Mula was there on location and he is going to be telling us absolutely everything that went down. Let's check it out.
Tonight, I'm at the Alchemist, where we're about to experience completely out of fashion show, man. Now, fashion designers are graduating from upcycling and incubator program, man. Tonight, designs expect, designs made out of love and fully out of post-consumed textile waste, man. Without wasting time, let's enjoy, beautiful people.
Over the weekend, the Alchemist in Nairobi held a fashion event with a purpose dubbed Completely Out of Fashion Show. The event brought on stage 15 designers from Kenya and Estonia, all of them working to reduce the textile waste imported to Kenya by upcycling it into new, beautiful ways to inspire local Kenyan designers creatively and direct them towards an ambitious adventure in turning textile waste into sustainable fashion. Consequently, a huge amount of used clothes from the market of Gikomba found their way into more meaningful fashion, making a statement on their own.
These were actually a pair of men's trousers, and this was my mother's dress. and I thought of the idea, and then I put them together to make the skirt and the coat. And this we got from Gikomba. We got a dress for 100 bob, and we made pants, and then this top. Yeah.
12